Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back. This is continuation of part 6 of the recorded lecture on the discussion of exemption clause. Okay, so in the previous part we discussed about the first condition, which was notice must be reasonably sufficient. Okay, the second condition is that notice must be contemporaneous with the contract. In that here it has to be done at the same time. It must be there when the parties executed or entered into the contract. The case is Ollie and Marlborough Court, 1949. What happened was that plaintiff booking for a week stay at the defendant's hotel, and a stranger gained access to her room and stole her mink coat. And there was a notice on the back of the bedroom door which stated that the proprietors will not hold themselves responsible for article lost or stolen unless handed to the manageress for safe custody. So this is actually the exemption clause. But the court held that the notice was not incorporated in the contract between the proprietors and the guests when she checked in into the hotel. So the contract was made in the hall of the hotel before plaintiff entered her bedroom and before she had an opportunity to see the notice. So the notice was too late. It wasn't done at the same time simultaneously when she was checking in into the hotel. We have, this is also in relation to elaborate the notice must be contemporaneous. So here, notice may be sufficiently given through previous cause of delay. Okay, this is from the case of Hollier and Rambler Motors, reported in the year 1972. So plaintiff had used defendant's garage, 3 or 4 times over 5 years, and on some occasion, he had signed a contract which excluded defendant from liability for damage by fire. And on this occasion, nothing was signed. He didn't sign anything. And then on one occasion, but sometimes he signed, sometimes he didn't sign. So on one occasion, on this occasion, nothing was signed, and plaintiff car was badly damaged in a fire. And the court held that despite that there exists previous cause of dealing, but it wasn't regular one. It's not a regular cause of dealing, so therefore defendant cannot be held, cannot escape from liability. So the exemption clause was not enforceable. So defendant were liable to pay for the losses suffered by the plaintiff. So the court referred to Hardwick Game Farm and Suffolk Agricultural Poultry Producers Association, reported in 1969. This is in comparison to this case, in which more than 100 notices had been given over a period of 3 years. So yes, in that particular situation, it did amount to a cause of dealing. So as compared to this, it is only 3 or 4 times over 5 years. So this is something which is not regular. So the notice must be there when they sign the contract, every time they enter into the contract. Okay, there's also other factors or condition attached to exemption clause. Here it has to be clear and unambiguous. So this is the third one, basically. For example, in the case of Tabichai Marine, plaintiff sold 388 bundles of sawn timber, or we call it 388 cargo, to the Yong Swat Wood Supply Company Limited of Bangkok. So this is the consignee. So he sold the cargo to consignee, and then this cargo was loaded onto the vessel. So Tabichai Marine is the name of the vessel, the ship, so which was chartered by defendant. So the charterer was the seller was plaintiff, and then sold it off to consignee, and the charterer chartered. The charterer was defendant, the one who chartered the vessel. And there was breach of duty. This is an argument. Defendant had in breach of duty and contract. Actually there was negligence as well. Delivered the cargo to the consignee in Bangkok without certain document, without production of bill of lading. This is certain documents issued by carrier to a shipper, listing and acknowledging receipt of goods for transport and specifying terms of delivery. And because of this, because of the absence of this document, defendant were guilty of conversion, resulting in damage to plaintiff. So plaintiff was the one who suffered damage. All right, that amount 388,000 being the sale price, and the plaintiff obtained a warrant of arrest against the ship in Sandakan. That's what happened to them. And defendants also argued that, yes, the cargo was never delivered, okay, to the consignee, as the consignee had rejected. Meaning, yeah, we cannot deliver the cargo because there was rejection by the consignee. And then it was the plaintiff who breached the contract, okay, through late delivery. When they delivered late, that's why the consignee rejected the cargo. And then the relevant part of our discussion is that defendant actually said, well, we are protected, okay, from by way of exemption clause here. Defendant was either exempted from liability under Article 4, Regulation 2G of the Merchant Shipping specific statute here. Implementation of conventions relating to carriage of goods by sea and to liability of ship owner and others, Regulation 1960. Or its liability was limited. Meaning here they were exempted, or even liability is limited, okay, by clause 2A of the bill of lading to the sum of 329,000. Okay, that's that's their argument in the court. But the court said, well, you are already at fault. Okay, you have breached the contract. So the court had already found fault on the part of defendant. So the court said, well, even this article could not exempt defendant from liability. Okay, meaning here contravention of the because of the fault on the part of the defendant. So this whatever argument, okay, under this regulation is not relevant, could not exempt the defendant from liability. So the fault here prevail over this regulations, okay, which was argued, okay, by the by defendant in the court. Okay, we'll stop here. We're going to continue later. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.